Again, I just executed now. What it was happen, same output will come to me 10 comma 20. Again, if we execute now, again 10 comma 20, again execute, again 10 comma 20. So that means which values we assigned to my A comma B variables, those values are fixed values. And this program, how many number of times you execute, same values are printed. And A comma B variable values are, we cannot change. So these kind of values are called as what? The fixed values we called. Okay. But sir, I don't want it fixed values. I want it dynamic values. So dynamic values, how to pass to my A comma B. Okay, no? So that I will discuss. First write down this one. Take continuation yesterday. Okay, right. So now if you need to pass dynamically the values to the variables, okay, there's one more small example. You can see to print sum of two numbers at runtime. So here I'm going to declaring just variables here, x comma y z. And now dynamically, if you want to enter, it means that you need to put it what now? Ampersand. Can you remember ampersand as we discussed in SQL also? Yes or no? So whenever we need to pass in front of column name, then the column values we will enter at a runtime level. So same as this, if you declared your variables like this kind of variables are called as a dynamic variables we called. Okay. That means your x comma y, these are the two dynamic variables, and these values user will enter at a runtime or execution time. Okay. So whatever you want it, you can enter there. So a number of times you can change your values to your variables. And finally, the addition we did, and that will save under jet and here printed. Okay, now? So now let's see here. So to declare your variables here, x and y, these are the two, okay, the variables I'm going to declaring here, x and y. And later I just begin. And here I'm passing x is equals to ampersand of x. then it is called as a dynamic variable. Y is equals to ampersandage of y, and this is also called a dynamic variables. Okay, and finally I need to print this output. So put underscore, okay, line of, then what do you want to say here? For example, addition is, so here I'm giving concatenation of what is this, x plus y. So directly I'm giving here. Okay, then after that, end my, so my begin statement and execute your, and see your enter value for x. So this is called as a runtime or execution time. Now we can enter value 10, and now it was asking to me enter value for y. Okay, and the addition is how much here, 33. So now user has a chance to change your values for every time. For example, again, if I execute this program and again it was asking to me x value, so I send some x value and some y value, and addition will come out the 77. But can you see this? After enter your x and y value, in between there has some statements are coming out. Yes or no? Your old and new statements are showing us. So what is this statement, sir? Okay, these are called as the binding variables we called. Okay, old is a one bind variable and new is a one bind variables. And sir, these bind variables importance and use what it is. Okay, so in future I will explain in triggers concept. I will explain to you what is old and what is a new. Okay, at that time you can understand that these two binding variables what it will do internally. Okay, but up to there what I am going to do, these binding statements whatever it was there that I need to hide. So whenever we need to hire here, then you need to set one property that is called a verify should make it a off. When you make it off and again enter, so x value and immediately y value will come to me. Okay, but in between x comma y, did you get any old and new statements? No. Okay, and if you wanted old and new statements, okay, now then you have to make it is what now, on. If verification is on and execute again your program, and now we can see again these things are come to you, the old and new. But up to trigger, I'm just hiding this. I don't want it. Okay, so off and execute, and your x value something and y value something, and addition will come to what now? 141. Okay, now right on. And below write down verify. Okay, right. So these are some variable declaration assignments at fixed level as well as dynamic level and printed. Okay, now next one. Suppose in your SQL language, suppose if you want to retrieve any particular table data, which command we are using? select command. So select command through, suppose if you want to fetch your information, we are going to be fetching like this is our select statement. And this is select query. And this query through we can fetch particular employee data. And all records at a time you can fetch it out. Otherwise, you can fetch your specific columns, suppose name and salary from EMP. I can fetch like this also. Otherwise, by using of the select statement, you can fetch from your EMP particular employee number wise or names wise, etc. Okay, now this is what now SQL. Okay, in SQL, how we are retrieving data from table. But same to same, if I want to retrieve data from a table in PLSQL language, okay, then which command we want to use? And this select statement is not supporting under PLSQL. For example, let you create a block, and now I'm going to writing this entire query statement, which is executed query. I'm writing here and end and execute. But what it was say, showing error. It means what you understand in PLSQL language, if you want to retrieve data from a table, so here we are not using selector star from table name. Okay, na? So that command only supporting under SQL. But in PLSQL, how to retrieve the data from a table, sir? Okay, na? So whenever you want to retrieve data from a table in or by using PLSQL language, there is a one statement we have to follow that is called a selector into statement. Okay, na? Right on below. And the definition below syntax. Okay, and syntax here observed. What is the syntax now? See, select query and your required columns you need to retrieve from so and so table as per given where class condition. But every column or any specific column values, whatever we are retrieving from so and so table, these columns values are again storing into variables. Okay, now why we are storing into variables means the reason is very simple. So in PLSQL language, we can't directly fetching the data from table and directly we can't print. So that means from the whatever the values we are retrieving from the table, those values we can't directly display on the screen. It's not possible. So that's why what we want to do here? First, we need to retrieve the data from table, and retrieval data again we need to store under some variables. And through these variables, I can print on my screen. Okay, now, but the direct table values we cannot print. So that's why print your required columns values, whatever you want it, and after that store into variables, and those variables you will go for printout. Okay, now, so that's why here selected columns which you wanted, from which table you want to select, and after these two columns values storing into variables. Okay, now, let's see one small example on this. Right on. Suppose I want to say, write a query to display employee name, comma, salary details whose employee number is 7788. Details from either take your from EMP table, whose employee number is 7788. Okay. So this query, if you want to write in query format in SQL, okay, simply what is the query? Select which column you want it, name, comma, salary, from which table, EMP, what conditional basis? So where EMP number is equals to 7788. So this is directly data coming from table and directly display on the screen. Okay. So that's why directly the column name and along with the values are print out. So this is in SQL language, how to fetching the data from your table as per the given employee number. Okay, now, right down below. Okay, right. But sir, same to same. If I write in PLSQL, how to write you can see. Right down below. Write a PLSQL program. Write a PLSQL program to fetch employee name, comma, salary details from EMP table whose employee number is 7788. So the requirement is same. Yes or no? Ah. The what above question and below question both are same outputs, same results. But the way of presentation is different. The same requirement, if you want to write in SQL, then we are writing by using of single line statement. And I already said to you, SQL supports single line statement execution process. This is the meaning by that. This is the meaning by that. Okay. But PLSQL support multi-line statements execution process. See the same requirement in SQL, one line statement through we finish it. But same to same, if I want to do in PLSQL, then you have to write a multi-line statements. So now see how to write here. So first I want to declare what? Declaration block. Declaration block starts with declare statement. And here, two variables I wanted because to what I'm going to display name and salary. So that's why two variables I'm creating, one for name and one for salary. These are the two variables. After declaration, start your execution block. Execution block starts with begin statement. And under this begin statement, now you need to write a PLSQL select query. What is my PLSQL select query? Select ename, comma, salary. That's called a column 1, comma, column 2, comma, column 3, and so on. So as per your required salary, these values I want to store into which variables? Corresponding variables. What is the corresponding variables? V underscore ename, comma, V underscore salary. And these columns are you retrieving from which table? EMP. On what conditional basis? Where EMP number is equals to 7788. Okay, na? So now tell me, 7788 employee name, salary, retrieval from EMP table and storing into the corresponding variables. Storing into the corresponding variables. Hmm. Storing into the corresponding variables from, and what is the condition? Where EMP number is equals to 7788. Okay. So now tell me, your employee name and employee salary, where it is now? Now in your table or into variables? Variables. E-name value storing into which variable? V underscore e-name. Salary column value storing into which variable? V underscore sal. Okay, na? So that's what should we do now? I need to print those values on my screen. So how to print? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. What do you say? V underscore e name. V underscore e name. Concatenation, comma, concatenation. V underscore salary. So after printed, what should we do? And execute. So now see. Same output, previously in SQL also, Scott and 3000, same to same in PLSQL. So that means PLSQL is called as what now? Multi-line statement execution program or execution system. Okay, now? Now we can write the both requirements are same, but the way of presentation is different. Okay, now? Right. But here you can see this. This program, when it will be executing in your application, means when whatever the variables are you declared for so and so columns, these columns data types and the variable data types must be same. Okay, now? So up to same, your program will not affect anything. But if your data types are changed, your entire program will be collapsed. For example, you can see. Suppose these are the two columns I am retrieving from my table. In my table, ename column, data type is what now? Varchar 2. Salary column, data type is what now? Number. So these two columns values I need to retrieve from my table. For that purpose, the corresponding two variables are I declared. But these variables are you declared for storing which column values? Name and salary column. That's why name variable data type varchar, salary variable data type is number. And your variable data type, your column data type and variable data type both are matching. So both are matching, same. That's why my program successfully executed and data successfully retrieval. Okay. But in case, suppose in the future, in the future, suppose the programmer will come to your table structure and your data type of varchar 2 place, they change as a number, for example. If your data type of column, if it is changed in your table structure, now tell me, now this program executor, not executor, not execute, it was showing error. What is error? Conversion type error. So that means why sir error? Because this column variable we ename. Which data type are you declared? Varchar. But actually in your table structure, which one? Number. Varchar and number. Data type. Matching or not matching? Not matching. It means your program will not execute. If I want to execute the program, what should we do? Again, I have to go for to rewrite my entire program. Yes or no? Again, I have to redeclare because these programs are called as anonymous block programs. And see, anonymous block programs, what it was say, there is a no name. Do you have any name for this program? No. And these codes are not saved. This code is not saved. That's why when this error is came out, varchar to number, then user or programmer, what you want to do, again, this entire program, you need to rewrite. Rewrite with which data type now? Number. Okay, now, okay, sir. I very hardly, I rewrite and my e-name, now this time number. Okay. Again, number and number matching. So, nothing problem to you. Understand? Na? Number matching, nothing problem to you. But the next case, okay. So, number, varchar to number. And here also we change as number. Okay. So, number matching. Again, after some time, again this number I will change as varchar to again. Again, what happened? Again, this entire program will not execute. Again, it was showing compilation error. So again, what we want to do? Again, this entire program, rewrite again. Rewrite with which data type now? Varchar 2. Then varchar 2 matching. Again, the program successfully executed. So that means what you understand in this, once the data type of a column, if we change, then the column corresponding variable, whatever you declared in the program, that variable data type must be same. But your same? No. That's why what happened? Your entire program will go to affected. Got it my point now? So once you change data type here, then your program not working. Okay. And again, rewrite your program again and again. So this is hardly and it's very complex to the programmers in real time. So that's why what they will do, instead of declaring their variables, okay, with the help of data types, in place of data types, they are declaring their variables with attributes. Variable attribute one. So in place of data type, I'm using what now? Variable attribute I'm using. So variable attribute through, I'm declaring my variable. Then whenever you declared your variable with attribute, okay, what is the advantage to the programmer here? Whenever you declared attribute, for this attribute purpose, allocating some memory. Okay, now internally allocating some memory for this attribute. And later in this memory, what it will store? It means that this variable, are you declared for which column? Which column I declared? Ename column. This ename column data type, whatever it was there in the table structure, this data type automatically placed here. Yes. Understand na? Automatically placed. In which memory? Attribute memories. So now program executor? Yes, nothing problem. Suppose in the future also, if anybody they came, they change varchar 2 to number, for example, if anybody changing, then what it was happen here, my program will not affect, because whenever you change a data type of column here, automatically here also latest data type will be updated. So here what you did, same data type will be stored. In which memory? Attribute memory. So now see num. There also automatically changed. What is the changed? Num. Then my program executed or any affected? Successful executed. Suppose in the future, if anybody come num2 varchar 2, they changed, then automatically here also varchar 2 changed. So that means my program no need to write again and again. Okay, na? And no need to redeclare my variables again and again. Not necessary. Okay. So when I'm using attributes in place of data type at variable declarations, what is the advantage here? Whenever you change the data type of column in a table, then automatically your variable attribute memory data type also change. So in that cases, your entire project will not affect. Okay, now previously what happened? Here it is changed. My complete program affected. Okay, but here not affected. This is the advantage of what now? Variable attributes. And these variable attributes, even though we called as a anchor notations. Right on. So whatever I was explained, that all are theory way. Read and write, you can understand. So read and write. So whatever I was explained, that you can easily understand what it was happened.